as a 53-year-old person,
Yeah, you see it differently.
I see it a whole lot differently.
Yeah,
And
I'm young.
and you really are. I now understand what people meant when they would say you're as young as you feel.
Oh, yeah.
I feel that as a person, your
Mm,
mind really doesn't get older to me.
yeah, yeah.
I think my mind is probably the same as it was when I was 5 or 6 years old, for that matter, as far as being able to think and
Yeah,
things of
but
that nature.
you learn new things every day. And
Hmm.
just a little digression here. You know, Alzheimer's disease.
Hmm.
They're saying that they have a wonder drug that they think will help to eliminate, if not lessen, the effects of that, so you would not lose your memory and stuff like that. But for reading purposes and just life in general, I find you learn new stuff every day. So anyone who thinks, oh, I'm too old to learn, please get rid of that thought, because you're not too old to learn. If you want to learn something, you can do something. As I said, we've had on the show other topics in the past about, older people who are, if you see some of these people, they look better than people that are 30, 40 years younger than them, because they keep themselves in shape, they keep their mind active and occupied. So when you're 70, 80, 90, you don't have to be old and decrepit and bent over and bordering on senile. If you can find a way to help yourself stay active and educated and interacting with the world and technology as it changes and all sorts of stuff, the point I'm making is, if you couldn't read or you struggled with your reading, that does not have to be your end story.
Right.
You can go back to school, even if you do it secretly, that's fine. That's going to be your major achievement for you. Don't worry about no one else telling you you're done, because you're not. You know you're not, because you've managed to survive this long. And believe me, this life ain't easy. So if you can get through and you have that kind of a condition to contend with, you're doing good. So you can do even better by helping yourself to learn to read.
Well, and that's the thing as far as those people you've talked about that have gone to great heights.
Mm.
Someone that can, as a actor or a musician,
Yeah.
so the content of information you have to remember as a singer. When you're
Yeah.
doing a show, you don't have a big book in front of you and you're just
Of
flipping the
all your song
pages.
lyrics.
Right.
It was, hey, you know what? I'm gonna have to tell you that some people do.
Well, I mean,
Some
I
people
know.
they have like their lyrics on paper. They have to refer to it between the breaks, mate.
Now that part I can understand, but I mean, and I understand even choirs. If it's something where you're doing a lot of songs and you're a
Yeah,
choir, they do have choirs and they'll have the words there so they can reference them.
yeah.
But if you're doing a show 9 times out of 10, and you look at these artists, including yourself, I think now they probably, and I can't confirm this, but I think it's probably true. I
Oh.
think they probably do like the people that have speeches and things like that. They've got a teleprompter somewhere.
Yeah, but see, now you got to be able to read the teleprompter.
That is correct. That's what I'm getting to.
You're gonna struggle. That's not fun. You're gonna struggle with that. So I mean, there's a lot. See, there's someone I need to mention today. That there's a lot of celebrities and famous people that have this condition, and it seems to be quite common now. I'm finding a lot more people are getting diagnosed, and a lot more people are coming forward and admitting that they have these issues, which is great, because if there's other people out there, you see, I'm lucky now. I've got the platform to talk about it and say, please don't be ashamed. There's nothing wrong. You just can help yourself to better your life. But I'm sure a lot of these people back in the day would hide it,
Right.
because it wasn't if it was seen that if you couldn't read and write properly, that you must be stupid. But they have proved that wrong, because look at them. A lot of them are famous and rich.
Rich beyond compare.
Yeah, listen, this is not average. I'm not talking a couple of million, which would be great in itself. I'm talking like hundreds of millions. You don't get that rich if you're stupid. Let's be clear. So just because you have dyslexia, that does not mean you are dumb. So there's a lot of people coming forward. As we've mentioned, Sir Richard Branson, everybody knows him. Virgin, everybody knows him. There's the singer, Toya Wilcox. She says she has dyslexia and she struggled, in her early years when she was at school and stuff. We're going to post these links because these are some of the people that I found. There's the boys' own pop star, Shane Lynch. He admitted he can't read and write. And you wouldn't think that these pop stars and business people and singers and so on. See, when you're a singer-songwriter, for example, that's going to help hard, it's going to be hard, isn't it? Because you want to write songs and you're going to struggle with your readings. You're going to have to find another way to get your ideas down.
Well, I think singer-songwriters, again, they may, sing a demo or sing something and people know it. But if someone turns around and they say, well, hey, can you, send me the lyrics? That's not happening.
That's a problem. They're going to have to enlist help. And,
Yeah.
and someone, unless it's a family member or someone who knows about their condition that is willing to help them, they're going to have to admit, my writing is not great. There are some people who write so badly, but they do it on purpose because they can't write properly. And then, because there's a story, we're going to share the links, as I said, we're going to share the links on the Ask Avani Show Twitter page. There's a guy, he went into a shop and I think he works in a factory or something like that. And he had to get provisions for his job. And he writes so badly. But what he was to do is he used to get a list from his employer or someone to go into the shop. And he just used to say to the person, I can't read my employer's handwriting. Can you just get me whatever's on the list? And at first, the people in the shop didn't realize, but then they suddenly realized, okay, he can't read, because he didn't say, can you get me this and this and this and this specific. So rather than embarrass the poor man, the guy in the shop used to just take the list off him and say, what do you need? Give me a list and I'll just get it for you. But why live like that when you could learn and then you can read it for yourself?
Well, and there has to be something within you that wants to change and add to the quality of your life. But that's just it. Everyone is different, and there are different things that may encourage me to be more healthy. And there are other people may be looking at me and they say, well, why can't you just stop eating sugar or whatever, or stop eating candy?
Easy.
Yeah, and it's like easier said than done.
Yeah.
So I just have a craving for X, and then not X the drug. Man, that sounded bad. I have a craving for XYZ thing. Let me finish that. I don't want that to get out there. No, I've never done, nor will I ever do that. But you.
You know what, K. Rosemary? Don't worry. But I'm hoping you guys are enjoying the show. You're listening to the Ask Avani Show. I hope you're enjoying our show topic today. And please feel free to contact me on Twitter and just interact. Ask Avani Show on Twitter. It's just I wanted to share this because I've seen so many people, and like I said, I love to read, so I just cannot imagine not being able to read. And when I see some of the way that the educational system starts messing about, and children are slipping through the cracks, and then they're hitting their teens, and they're not reading properly, and then they're ending up in trouble because they can't concentrate at school, and it's not all the conditions they may have are not being diagnosed, and there's just so many reasons why people can slip through the cracks if they can't get the education that they need. And I just thought, I really want to talk about it so that we can say, yes, we know that there's this problem, but it doesn't have to be a problem if people are willing to open up, address it and say, okay, yeah, I'm going to go back to school. And I don't care if you're 25, I don't care if you're 55, I don't care. If you feel you can better your literacy, please do it. Go back to college, go back to school, night school. If you want to do it on the secret and then present somebody with a letter that you've written or an email that you've written without anyone else's help, do that. Because every single day you're going to learn something new, and it's little and often. That's how see, when you're a kid and you're learning to read, it's cute, isn't it? Everyone's like, they're saying their first words and they're reading their first book. It's cute, but as you get older, if someone's trying to tease you because you're still reading something that like a little 5-year-old would read, it becomes more of a shame thing, which it shouldn't do, should it?
Well, but that's where we get just the pressure from peers, and it does change your thought process about wanting to do something if people are making fun of you.
Yeah.
And those, I think, in a lot of cases, some of those people have medical issues like dyslexia. Mm-hmm. And so we shouldn't be making fun of them. No. We should be encouraging them, but the world is a cruel place.
And there's people that say, now I'm going to be at devil's advocate on my own topic. There are people that say, conditions like dyslexia don't exist. That's just kids being lazy. But I'm sorry, there's too many children and adults being diagnosed with this condition, even though it manifests itself in different ways for different people.
Well, I mean,
But the condition, the premise is the same. Yeah, they can't
somebody's
read.
saying that it's like, people that don't believe in global
There
warming.
you go.
You've got 97% of the people that study science who
Yeah.
agree, but that other 3% wants to just, basically be the adverse of, the adverse to it, just to be
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah, just to be difficult in it, just say, well, that don't exist. That's rubbish. People in the UK, whoever watches Towie, the only way is Essex. Sorry, US. Whoever watches that, they will know the character Joey Essex. That's his name, right? Don't laugh. That's his name. And this guy, I have to share the story that I found on him because they were saying that he admitted that he can't tell the time on his watch, but he says being thick is a great career move. And I thought, hold on, where's he going with that? Because that's the contradiction. If kids think, okay, I don't have to really, try well at school because I can do him. I can do like what he does and talk silly things and say stupid stuff and I'll get famous and then I can make money. You don't want kids to think like that. I'd rather my child be educated because when he turned around and said, okay, he may have this, whatever it is, £70,000 watch. But if it's just there, literally just looking at you and you can't even read the damn thing, what's the point?
Right, it defeats the purpose.
Yeah, what's the point? I was like, okay, you got this watch right. And yeah, it's expensive. But number one, he's coming out and he's saying that, I know I'm not too bright, but I'm showing off to the world materially that I've got all these things. So people are going to want to come to him and take advantage of him because they're thinking, he's just stupid, so I can steal his watch. Apparently, he did get robbed one day when he got out of his car to sign some autographs. He got robbed, and I remember thinking, okay, so lucky they didn't do nothing to him. They just ripped the watch off his hand and ran off. But can you imagine if you perpetuate that you are a little bit, not as intelligent? Because this is why I want to mention it, because there's a difference between being unable to read and so on, and then not having no sense. As I said before, if you've got common sense and then, if you've got intelligence on top of that, you're going to be all right, whether you've got the formal education or not. Of course, it's nice to have an education. Of course. But if you're going to do what this one does, he comes out with some stuff and I'm just like, okay, whatever. Because he just sounds so silly. And you just think, part of me is not sure. Is he playing up being that silly or is he really just not that bright? Because the things he comes out with, you're just thinking, okay. But you know who he reminds me of? Jay Goody.
Who is that?
Now, remember we were talking about Jay Goody when we were talking about the smear test?
Oh, yes.
Now, she used to come out with some isms, right? That's the only way I can put it, isms. And you just think, okay, what's she talking about? Why is she saying that? Because she used to say, what did she say? Something about, is Rio de Janeiro a person or something?
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, she just used to come out with some stupidness. And I'm thinking, okay, she's getting that confused with Rio Ferdinand, the footballer, and all sorts of stuff. But Rio's a place. Most people know that. Come on. And I just thought, is she really that big? She used to come out with some really silly stuff. But you see, the thing is, when they were doing this, I think she was one of the, the first people to sort of say that because she is the way she is, that's why she's popular. That's what helped her to get famous. So I think I look at him as the male version of her because he just says some really stupid stuff.
Well, but again, they're doing this from a totally different standpoint. They're doing this to make money.
Yeah.
And one of their means to make money, it sounds like, is that they portray this character as this is how I am in real life. But there are some people that are really that way in real life. And, I mean, these guys are making money. But if you portray yourself as that in real life and you get out of a car and people think that you're lacking, they're going to take advantage of you or they're going to steal from you.
They ripped that watch off his hand and they just like legged it down the street. He's lucky they didn't punch him in his face and all sorts of stuff because, I remember thinking, that must have shaken him up a bit. But it obviously didn't shake him up too much because he still carried on with his stupidness later on.
Right, right. But that's that non-logical space that we live in. You give someone something that would enhance their life and make it go better, and then they don't listen. So what can you do?
Yeah, well, that's just stupidity. That's okay. That's got nothing to do with, okay, you can't read or you can't write for whatever the reason. That's just plain dumb.
Right.
You know, and see, this is why I want to reiterate, just because you may not be able to read very well or write very well, that does not make you stupid. I must say this again, please. I have to say it because I don't want people to think, okay, well, you know,